Hello guys, MikuChibi here, welcome back to Showdown Factor, and in this video I will show you how to build DPS set for bow. Yes, this time we're gonna try to build a bow and I do have some skills to require to do that, so I'm really happy with that. When it comes to DPS bow build, it is kinda unique compared to other build if you compare to sword, rapiers, etc. because when it comes to bow, most of the time they rely on you being low HP, like maybe staying in 1 HP all the time, which is kind of risky because if you get hit once from the mobs or the boss, you pretty much getting one shot from it. Just one small hit and you're pretty much dead. But at the same time, if you're staying low HP, you will deal a lot of damage because some of the bow skill bonus scale with being low HP, opposite to axe where you have to remain HP, you know, you have to stay full HP to deal more damage with axe, but with bow you have to stay low HP. So this video will be perfect if you are looking for a bow DPS build, but keep in mind there are always better alternative, and most of the time not everyone has the same skill, but I will just giving you like concept how to build a bow DPS set, that's all. I don't have the best skill of course either, so you can use get inspiration or use copy it, etc. Depends what skills you have and try to build around that. When it comes to building a bow DPS set, it will have the same core as other build like axe, rapier, where you have a chain skill in the set and also full burst, and then you want to build around that with, for example, support skill to support a full burst, or even a burst if you want to deal even more damage. So it's gonna be the same as other weapon, chain skill and full burst, and then you just build around that. So the first thing we're gonna look for is chain skill, of course, and if you don't have a chain skill, well, you're gonna have to look for different build then, because when it comes to meta or endgame, you want chain skill. It will give you the best performance when it comes to dealing damage, and we do have two different chain skill. One is buffing element and one is buffing general for attack, and this one is really good because it has the risk taker 4, which is a stacking skill with scales with your lower HP. The lower HP you have, the more attack you receive, and also it has attack stack, so this one is good in general, so I'm gonna equip that. Next up, you want to equip full burst. There are many different full bursts. I remember this is one water, one fire, one holy, something like that. But I want to have holy and fire. And today in this video, we're gonna focus on holy element because we're gonna try to see if we can farm floor 17, which is weak to frost than holy. So in this video, we're gonna focus on the holy build, and there are no null-element bow build. Maybe not yet, but maybe in the future there will. And with the chain skill, you do also want to limit break the full burst, because when you're limit breaking the full burst and using chain state, then the full burst is going to be a switchable a skill, so you have to make sure to limit break that, which can take a while if you're a new player. So when I equip this one and not using, of course, releaser, we're gonna save those releaser in the future. And now we have a chain skill and a full burst. Now we're gonna try to build around that with our chain skill and full burst. So what can we equip on first skill and fourth skill? Well, it really depends what you have. Most of the time, if you have a connect skill, it could be real nice to have it on the first set, but when it comes to end game, you most of the time will equip the full burst on the second set. You could use mod skill if you want, but I don't really like it. But you can use add any support skill that is buffing your damage or crit, anything that works. Well, in this case, I do have a burst which is really strong, so I can equip that. So if you do have a burst bow that is really good and a little bit better than the full burst, then you can play around that, because this one is really good. Basically have the same bonus but has higher multiplier. So now we have a chain skill, a full burst and a burst skill, and you see that both full burst and the burst is maximally broken. So both of these skill will be benefiting from the chain skill when we are activating the chain state. And the chain state, it will look something like using chain skill into burst, then you activate full burst, then you activate the burst again. So that is how you're gonna like output more damage on your bow set. You don't have to equip burst if you don't have a burst or really strong burst, but I do have that, so I'm gonna use that. And this one has higher multiplier compared to full burst, so the burst gonna be damage, and this full burst is gonna be like extra step supporting to activate more burst. An example that is kind of similar to bow is sword, where most of the popular build will be full burst Yuki and SPS because it's non-element, and you will see that people are using the SPS first, then Yuki, then SPS and SPS, something like that. So we are now missing the fourth skill, which could be something like random. Actually, no, not random, but if you do have a support skill that has reckless courage, so any bow skill with reckless courage, that's a good buff, because this buff here scales with the lower HP you have. And how much attack is it giving? Well, with some testing and stuff from other players and including me, the buff can give you up to 2000 attack, flat attack, which is a lot, so it can be really useful. And this buff here, combined with the bonus from the full burst, well, it will deal a lot of damage. So if you have any bow skill with reckless courage, make sure to equip that, because the buff is really worth to have. If you don't have that, that is fine, you can play without it, but if you manage to get one, equip that. It is a really great buff to have in your bow set. And now we are pretty much done with our main set. No, not so far, but we are done with our act skill. So you're gonna have chain, full burst, and a support skill. And now we're gonna focus on the passive. For passive, it's basically gonna be similar build as other weapon except for sword. You just want to stack attack, and the first skill that we really want to equip is going to be Power Rise 3, because Power Rise 3 gives you a flat attack and other effect. Since we are using a holy set, we want to equip any Power Rise that is buffing holy. So we're gonna look for that. For example, this one, if you have, this one is limited though. If you don't have a Power Rise that is buffing the specific element you are using, that's fine. Just equip any Power Rise as long it doesn't reduce your element. That's it. And I have too many holy to be honest, so I can use any holy skill here. Like I can use this one. This is another holy Power Rise. I mean, this one is still fine, but I don't think it's that good with my set. You could use also a Shine Boost 4, which is buffing your holy element by 40%, which could be really good. But I have like a really good power tree that I'd really like, especially for holy, which is gonna be this Yuki here. This Yuki is like really good, so we're gonna equip this one and play around that. Any powers work, like I said, as long it doesn't reduce your element damage, that's it. And now we have a power 3. What next skill do we want? Well, since we want to have the meta build, we want to equip, of course, a full bird. So full bird passive, anything works as long as buffing your frost damage or any element, etc. There are many different full burst passive, like here I have many different. But keep in mind, there's some passive that doesn't work well. I mean, this little guy here works perfect as advanced trooper, but it also have healing, and we are trying to stay low HP. Now this healing here, 1%, it is still fine. It's not too much, as long you don't have like a lot of healing back. We could use Asuna, though this one gives a lot of attack because it's using frost element. So it works for spear, rapier, bow, but the secondary effect, which is only working on rapier. So we basically use one effect here with a lot of attack. So we could use Asuna, use it for example, but there are better options. But today we're just gonna give it an example. We're gonna equip Asuna. For last two passive, well, we're just gonna keep stacking more attack, use the same as other weapon except for sword. We looking for any that gives attack percent or flat attack. For example, Power is 4, it gives you a lot of attack here, so that can be nice if you have that. Or if you don't have Power is 4, you can use Equip Veteran Technique, gives you a lot of attack percent that scales with your level. So any attack that gives you flat or either percent, those works pretty well. Advanced Trooper or Devotion, I guess, that works well. No, not Devotion, actually not Devotion. Devotion, you have to stay above 75% HP. So the first skill, we use Equip a Power 4, and now for a 4 slot, it can be any flexible, maybe like Resistant if you need that, or if you can, or if you want to try, if you do have a passive that is Engrave. Let's see if I can find mine Engrave passive. This one here. It could be nice for party or solo content if you want to. Otherwise, you don't really need that. I haven't tried using Engrave for bow. I haven't tried that. You could use for something like this that is increasing frost damage. Could be real nice, though this one isn't the perfect for bow because you need to stay above 50% HP for the more attack. Which not the perfect, works on spear or rapier. This one, you could equip it if you also want that, but you keep in mind you need frostbite on the enemy. If you don't have that, well, then don't equip it. Because I have the Yuki Power Rise, that need Elizabeth for 25% attack. We can equip this one here, which is really good, gives us more attack if we're staying below 50% HP. So this one gonna be real nice, so we're gonna use this one. And now we're gonna get a lot of attack percentage. I mean, this Yuki here is too good. Artifact we could equip, let's see, Elizabeth we are done. Xenon we have that already. We could equip Silica. Yeah, you can equip a Silica if you have that for at 400%. Yeah, I could actually do that, but we're gonna do that later on when I show you my bow DPS set. And now we have done the active and the passive. Now we're gonna move on to ring. For the ring, it's basically similar to other build where you want to add more attack, attack percent, flat attack, anything works. The best one you have. We could also add this one, could be something good if you want that, more switch damage. Resistant, if you are playing around any boss that is applying a lot of resistance, could be also very nice. For me, I'm gonna add more, not this one, where's the combination for? This one. This one could be nice because we're gonna do a lot of chain skill or chains, super chain. So we're gonna need that. And then for last one, it could be advanced trooper 2 if you have that. Could be really nice, give you a flat 200 attack, but this one also recover HP, which is decent, not too crazy, but you still want to stay low HP. Let's see, I think I have advanced trooper that give me just the attack. Let's see, no, not that one. This one could work, and not that one. Oh, this one. Okay, this one is actually good. All right. So yeah, it could look something like this. So the ring is pretty much done. So you just want to keep adding more attack. That's it. So you can scale more. Attack percent, flat attack, either works. So yeah, that is how your DPS bow gonna look like, or something similar. It doesn't need to be exactly the same scale I have. But now we are gonna focus on second set because we need to activate the burst somehow, right? For the second set, we want to support our main set, so it can be like buffing or stacking either way, or even to activate the burst, right? But there's one issue we need to focus on is how to reduce our HP, because we need to reduce our HP so we can deal more damage. And if we look into our main set here, for example this burst here, this one do scale with low HP. If you look into burst, as the bonus, the lower HP we have, the more damage we deal, or the more attack we receive. So we need to figure out how to reduce our HP, and there are 3 ways to do that. And one of them is using scales. So if you do have some scale that is reducing your HP, you can equip that once. And I believe there are 3 scales that do that. For example, this one, the Mermaid Xenon or the Shy Mermaid Xenon. This one is reducing your HP for 3% of your max HP, and if you're hitting AoE, then it's gonna reduce to 99. So this one is really useful, really good to equip. So if you have that, you can equip that one. So we have now one skill or one way to reduce our HP, and the other way to reduce is using ingot. Yes, so okay, we're gonna make one real quick here. So I will show you how to reduce your HP with ingot, and we're gonna equip just a random bow. This one, yeah, we're gonna use this one. So this one, we're gonna unlock the slots, of course, because we need to equip ingot somehow, right? We're gonna refine it, unlock all 3 slots. So we're gonna do that. And now we want to equip any, okay, nice. We're gonna let this load, but we want to equip any ingot, mainly the weapon XP ingot, because they're reducing your HP. So we can equip anything. It can be that 50% or 25%. I prefer 50%, so we are reducing a lot of your HP. So we're gonna equip this one. Of course, gonna refine it. So that is one, and we're gonna equip all 3. And now we're done. So with this, you will see that our HP is now 1 HP. So when we switch to our main, we're gonna have 1 HP. So that is the fastest way to reduce your HP. So this is really good. And the third way to reduce your HP is the classic one is by getting hit by the boss or the monster. If you have a boss or you're fighting a boss that is applying element, that could be really helpful. Or if you're equipping like passive that is applying element when you're using switch, something like that. That is the fourth way. So now we have solved that problem. We're gonna now keep adding more stuff that is supporting our set. Since bow doesn't have that great switch gain, we need to have switch gain of course, and if you do have like a holy stacking, element stacking, it could be nice. I don't have that. We do have this one, which is the risk taker 4, which is really good in general, so we're gonna equip that. And then if you do have connect, it could be also great because the effect from the chain, it gives you more stack, so it could be really nice. You do see some people running like 2 connect in the bow set or the second set. So if you have connect skill, equip that if you have. Otherwise you don't really need that if you don't really want to play around stack. But end game, if you want to like maximize your damage, stacking really useful. For example, this like is a really popular, and it is also frozen holding, so gonna be really useful when I trying to activate our burst. We're gonna use random holy skill here to activate our burst of course. It could be anything here. Let's see. What do you want to equip? Random skills, done. I mean, not the best, but hey, use an example of what you can use equip. There are better options for sure, but that is what we're gonna use. And now for last slot for fourth skill, I mean, it could be anything. You could add another like, I don't know, regular curse, it works as well. So yeah, it's gonna look something like this. This is the support skill gonna look like, and for the passive, it can be anything as long you are sustaining. But keep in mind you have 1 HP, so just don't get hit, that's all. Just equip any passive that you want, like maybe stacking if you want that, something like that. Resistance, I guess we can do something like that. Yeah, pretty much done. I mean, equip HP, resistant, anything on your second set, and you're pretty much good to go. And this is what a support set could look like. I mean, not the best of course, but I will show you my real set, my DPS set and my second set. So here we go. So this is the set I'm using for floor 17, basically the same set that we just gave example of, but this is what I'm running for floor 17, though I'd rather use bow that much because floor 17 isn't the best farming place for me. Yep, this is the ring I'm used. So yeah, something like this, and this is my support set, mainly focused on buffing or stacking or playing around stack. I'm not the best on playing around stack because it's pretty hard to maintain the stack, but if you can do that, then it's perfect. And then you have the passive, just focus on stacking, that's all. And the ring, use anything that works. So yeah, so that is my set. Let's see, so the rotation could look something like this. So we'll keep stacking with the risk taker and keep stacking. We have the switch gain. The wind buff doesn't really matter, but that is just I use equip for the switch gauge, that's it. We're gonna use switch, so we get more stacks. I'll keep going, trying to maintain that. And now more stack here. It would be better if I had 2 connect skill here, but I'm too lazy. Go. I guess this looks like this enough. Yeah, this is gonna be really hard to maintain the. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Let's see if I can maintain this. Go. So now we're gonna use our regular buff here, then burst. Like that, then our full burst. Then we just gonna keep spamming the burst, that's it. And there you go. That's how the rotation could look like. Not the best rotation. I mean, I lost all the stacks already. Yeah, kind of hard to maintain. But yeah, it could look something like this. I mean, you don't really need to play around stack. I'm not the best player when it comes to stacking, so you don't need to follow that. Just build a support set to, you know, to activate your burst. That's it. You can also do that. So yeah, we could try farming floor 17, but right now there aren't that any player that farming floor 17, and every time I do farm floor 17 I always have to do the tanking role because no one wants to play tank. So yeah, maybe next time. Okay, Showdown. There aren't that many frost weakness. I mean, we could do Seahorse, but too weak. I mean, we could do Warden, but it has resistance to Holy though. Yeah. I mean, we could try. Maybe we can, brute force. But this one gonna be hard though. This one gonna be hard, to be honest. I mean, let's see. Let's try. Okay, it's now finally. Alright, let's see. Yeah, this one gonna be really hard. I'm at 1 HP and just one hit from Warden. Oh! That was close. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't wonder how people are doing with bow. That's good. Yeah, we're doing no damage. Yeah, we're doing no damage. I mean, it has high resistance to Holy. But I mean, almost 50% HP of the Warden. Can we keep rolling though? Oh, that was a good timing. Yep. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, now let's see that one. Ooh. With courage. Let's see how much damage. Yeah, we do no damage. Wow. Even we are like pretty low HP, we do no damage. Yeah. We definitely need a dark set for bow. Oh. Oh no. This one. Oh. Where's that? Yep. Yeah. And that is how you build a DPS set for bow when it comes to meta. It doesn't have to be similar, but you understand the concept. You want to chain a full burst and then you want to build around that, and then for passive basically power is 3 and full burst, and then you can equip more attack if you want to. Then you want to make a second set for supporting the burst, of course. So it could look something like this. I mean, you don't need to follow. Everyone has different way to build their bow, but it should be the same concept, having chain and a full burst, and then you build around that. So that is how you build DPS for bow, and if you have any question, let me know in the comment and I will try my best to answer your question. But that is for me, and thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Take care now and bye bye.